First of all, black normally should play around here, but black decided to resist and come on the left side because white didn't extend there, which means that white immediately gets a chance to counter-attack by jumping out here. White is also quite happy. This Hane insisting a little bit too much, black should continue on the outside. And here white can just take the advantage and defend normally, or even better, white can start moving out on the left side. Also white has this kind of nice play that you can aim at. So white has a lot of variations to simply ignore because black is playing on the second line a lot and aiming at this kind of move on the second line. But this is really too much to connect like this on the second line and play so many moves like that. White attacked immediately and black immediately went for connecting. Okay, so this is still quite okay for white. It's a good advantage for white here. We have the large points that are always there, San San, or some Kakari. We have this kind of point to go out if possible, this kind of point around here. We should also look at the position on the tops to see what happened. Pretty soon white wants to play this kind of moves. If it's possible to capture in Sente, that would be fantastic. And then if we can make all those moves in Sente, white could profit a lot. But we should always wait for the timing of it because it's never clear that the opponent will answer how we want. From black's point of view, this jump here is a pretty cool move, so that's why, for example, such a move from white, it's preventing black's jump, so it's making solid shape overall. In the game, white just went for a large point. This is a speedy play. And the black enters San San. And white just starts developing the right side. So white feels good here. This may be a little bit too much. Maybe white should start also playing on the left side, but white just wanted to have a quick territorial advantage, declaring that later on he will manage no problem against black's stones on the top. Nevertheless, maybe at this stage it's a good timing to try to play something like that and then check a little bit if black will answer normally with those moves. Black played here, which is a good point, and white takes care of his stones here. Black wanted to eliminate the corner Agi and maybe too early. Black could play this kind of move. This kind of move works well in combination with this kind of tsuke here. You can even cross-cut and aim at some stuff on the side. The strongest resistance from white would be to play around here, so we have to be careful about the timing. But this kind of tsuke should be helpful. At least if you intend to play here, black should play it one time. So now white clearly intends to play very territorial and allow black to do what he wants. For example, black now encloses white's stone on the top because white is confident to make a good sabaki over there. But this move is a little bit too much. Somewhere around here, black can start counter-attacking. For example, like this kind of move, starting to build some thickness in the center. White doesn't even have the continuation. If white play here, black can counter-attack like this. So white shape would be strange, and also here if we answer like that, black can play this kind of tesuji and then start pushing like this and take initiative in the center, and this would be a little bit dangerous for white. White is pushing a little bit too much on the territorial side. Actually white should at this point really check what happens with this kind of Agi. We have all kind of interesting variations here. For example, if black plays something like that in order to capture the corner, it's crucial if this move is sent or not. Probably at this stage black will allow white to go out and play something in this fashion, but white needs to also check black's reaction on the top in order to know what he wants to do. Another possible reaction here would be this kind of tough play, which would invite white to play all kind of moves. For example, white can just start attacking the 3 black stones. Later on we have a lot of Agi after playing those exchanges on the top around here with this kind of move, this kind of move. So white can prepare a little bit. Also this tsuke we would like to play at some point if possible. White would like to play this and capture to check if black will answer. If black answer on a neutral point like this, white gets a nice profit in the corner. So this is a little bit too much going on the side, but black is also entertaining white, answering everything, which is a mistake. And now white just wants to win an easy way, but this is losing a little bit. It's too early to play this and ignore the center area. Black can start counter-attacking. Solid play would be to just take the corner, but we can also think about playing somewhere around here and enlarge black's moe on the top while attacking white. Black did this. Now white goes for living in the corner. Life depends on this push, if this push is center or not. If black answers, then white is alive. Base moves are center and you can make life like this. Black didn't want to allow white to leave, but this is a pretty big mistake. I mean, maybe black thought he's strong enough to kill this white, but this is not true. And after this, white gets a really easy advantage. I think considering the overall flow of stones, white was already leading around 3-4 points, but at this stage white gets a very big lead. And also this is a highlight of the middle game that is really interesting to discuss. The moves here are kind of forced. White is pushing on black's weakness, and black doesn't have a good way to react. I mean, if we play like this and capture this kind of move cente, it would be too hard to stop white from going out. Just too many weaknesses. If we try a brutal way like that, you see now that we have really too many weaknesses everywhere. It's impossible to stop this white. I have to connect here, and now against the center stones there is a lot of trouble. For example, after this, white has this kind of move to escape on this side, and very soon this will become quite dangerous for black. Even if you capture this white, it's a terrible result. So black doesn't have a choice. This is also a Tesuji, but this is a moment where white really had a cool variation. In the game, white didn't see it because white is focused on defending his group, but actually, rather than defending, white has a major opportunity here to sacrifice with cool shapes. So for example, first of all, play this kind of Kikashi. You will see soon why this is a good move, because white intends to actually go for an exchange here. You see that the exchange A with B is quite smart. The continuation is forced, more or less. Here black has no choice but to cut, and white can play here. Black would like to attack from here, but this is unreasonable. It's a ko that is really too big, so white will push one time to prepare for a large kotret, and then this Atari is an absolute kotret. So now black simply doesn't have kotrets. Anything you try to play like this kind of move, white will just take. Black can push through, but you cannot compensate. Losing the ko like that, it's horrible. And white makes a lot of points on the top side where black seems to have a lot of territory, and in the end this is not enough. So this was a cool variation for white. Black's correct way would be to Atari from this side, and here also another powerful Tesuji from white is to cut. Because if black wants to answer directly, white will counter Atari here. This is tough, so then black is forced to play this Kikashi, but black really doesn't want to play such moves. And after that we go back, and after playing this kind of Nozoki in Sente, we go back to connect on the side. Black managed in the end to capture the group on the top left, but white made so much profit by encroaching on the top side. Black has also some agi. We have to play this kind of moves to fix the shape, then black is not happy. We still want to jump out to try to use a little bit the stones to attack white. Overall, I think if you count the territory, white starts to have a very solid lead. This also works. What white played avoided this interesting exchange, but white can easily leave. Nevertheless, this was a pretty serious mistake of shape. The correct shape for white is to jump out here. In this fashion, black has no way to catch this group, and this is the best sabaki for white, also because it's looking forward to strongly press black. So white is not only defending, is also starting to counter attack. This kind of cut would be impossible to play. White has this kind of move, and then white can start the ko and play this kind of kotret, and the ko is too big, so black will have to finish the ko, and then white can leave with a pretty reasonable profit in the corner. So again, this is a bad result for black. Actually, white had a very stylish move that he could play. Instead, he played this move that makes things more complicated. But still black doesn't really have a chance to kill white, and this capture is just making things worse because white now can just connect on the outside and fight the core. So black should still focus on trying to cut off white, but indeed the shape is very weak. White can always come with stuff like this. When white starts counter-attacking from this side, things become very painful for black, but in the end white will survive. Just that black, by playing here, make things really easy for white, and now this ko is easy to fight. In the game black connected, but this is game over. Black doesn't have ko threats after this, and also this is a Kikashi that was not clear that the white can play. At this stage black should finish the ko and allow white to come back to this. So white is still leading, but compared to the game this is better, because in the game by answering. But what is important here is that this cut and this cut here are a lot of weaknesses in black's shape. Suddenly black has almost nothing. The territory on the top is very small. After Atari here, white has a very easy game. But white should probably stop playing on that side and start exploiting the Agi against black. So basically this Hane is something that white always wants to check, because black might answer with this kind of move to avoid the cut in the center, and then we can play something like this and allow black to protect and just go out, and white protects his shape on the left side in this fashion and enters that area. White is alive on the top. After that black has nowhere to catch up in this game. Even the way white plays, white is comfortably ahead. When black plays this move, white one more time has the chance to do this kind of counter attack, as we said. If black answer on this side, then this kind of move is also quite painful. In the end, white seems to be determined to play safe, but this is missing out, allowing black to recover. But white really wants to play as safe as possible. Everything that white is doing here is saying, okay, game over. This is a little bit dangerous when you really expect your opponent to resign because he's behind. So white is somehow not touching the Agi on the left side and allowing black to become strong there, and this is giving black some possibility to come back. So this move is losing quite a lot of points because white misses out on approaching the bad Agi that black had on the side. So even now white should immediately stress this kind of Agi and check a little bit for weaknesses. White played like this, which is giving black the opportunity to just close the territory in a good shape. At this point, even if white still keeps a solid lead, white keeps losing. White was ahead something like 10 points, but it's relaxing too much. You can feel that the white player knows that he's ahead a lot, and he's not playing full power anymore. And this was maybe the reason why in the end white lost this game. Black, nevertheless, by defending like this, black feels he's behind in territory and he's trying to catch up by making territory, but this is the worst possible way of playing. When you are behind, you have to go for killing something, or you have to go big for something, because if you try to recover on territory, you will always be behind. So at this stage, things should be very easy for white. If white simply defend the cutting point, there is not so much to say anymore about this game. Maybe black can enter by jumping, but white only needs to be safe everywhere, and territorially speaking, white has a lot of points. Some shape details, it would be very important for white if white can exchange A with B, because then the capture at C would make the group alive. It would be very safe. Also, we would like very much to be able to capture in center D. Considering those, playing in between the stones here at E and destroying the black's eye shape would be also an important move. Okay, so here anyway, white is going for just closing the side, and because white didn't defend the cut, black is cutting, but in fact this is also unreasonable, and white has an easy way to counter this. When white jump here, black normally has nothing to play. But now we can see that white really relaxed too much. White is being careless in a dangerous position. White played this move. At this stage, the safe way to play is like this. If white play here, it's impossible for black to cut on any side, so black can just try to come a little bit inside with this kind of moves. But in fact, black gets nothing. White can keep all the territory in shape. This move though, because Nobi is sente, threatening to cut the two stones, White has to defend there, and now black has this very dangerous move. It's creating super bad agi here. White continues to play confident, which is still okay. At this moment, white could still easily win this fight, but white played the instinctual Atari here, thinking that this makes more liberties. But in fact, this is losing a lot. This is making the shape very dangerous. The correct move for white was to play here. If black plays something like that, white can connect here. Next, white can make two eyes. You can play this kind of move in center, but that's all you can play here. And then you have to come back for this. But after white play here, white can just go for the semi-eye. We have to cut. Even if black plays something like that, this doesn't change the liberties. So we have to keep black in 3 liberties, because here we have 4 liberties on the outside. Black cannot make more than 3. This is actually not so difficult reading, but think about this move when you had Atari, it's maybe a little bit unusual. So here white confidently plays this Atari and then connects here. White is in danger, but white could still win this semi-eye if white simply push out. It's a complicated sequence here, but white will manage. Playing this move, the eye reacts suddenly is like minus 20 points. But in this game, I think white was never behind, and at some point white was for a long time comfortably ahead with like 10 points. But finally this blunder, white made a series of blunders here that show somehow maybe some fatigue. White just got captured here when it was so easy to win this semi-eye. And looking back at this really easy move, there was nothing that black could do here. This entire area is white's territory. After a series of blunders, white arrived in this stage when he just got captured. This is really painful for the white player, and a big lesson, no matter how good is the game, to not relax and play with good focus until the end. I tried a little bit more here, but in the end he has to resign. Losing the capturing race here was too much. After this, black is comfortably ahead. So I mean, this kind of tsuke inside the territory shows clearly white's bitter mood, and white resigned. The opponent is too strong to make mistakes in such a easy position. There is no place left to fight. What I really appreciated in this game was the really nice sabaki, especially the AI sequence of moves when it was possible to sacrifice the group. So here, I think this is a position to remember. AI proposal how to deal with this shape is something to remember. So this sequence, from my point of view, this is a legendary level of reading, extremely nice approach. Okay, so this was my commentary for this game. Thank you. See you.